Freedom's Heist. In the dim light of the art gallery's main exhibit, the tension crackled like static in the air. Lexi's hands trembled slightly as she adjusted her mask, her eyes darting around to assess the situation. Her partner, Jada, was beside her, a confident smirk on her lips, ever the picture of calm. They were here for something that was going to change everything. An invaluable heist to steal a priceless painting that could solve their financial problems for good. Remember, we're in and out. No heroics, Lexi said, trying to keep her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Her heart raced not only from the thrill, but also from the way Jada's dark eyes sparkled in the low light. Relax, babe. I'm just getting into character, Jada replied, her voice sultry with an edge that sent shivers down Lexi's spine. Lexi couldn't help but admire her partner's confidence as they approached employees and patrons milling about. As the lights dimmed for the evening's main event, the gallery's security relaxed slightly, making it the perfect opportunity. They slipped through the entrance unnoticed. Lexi held her breath as they moved further in, hoping their plan would go off without a hitch. Pushing through the ornate double doors into the exhibit room, the paintings stood majestic on the wall, their golden ticket. Lexi felt a warmth spread through her as she gazed at the impressive piece, but her rapture was cut short by the sudden appearance of a tall figure blocking their path. A museum curator and exasperated artist, Eliana, with striking red hair and piercing green eyes. "What do you think you're doing here?" Eliana demanded, her voice a mixture of authority and curiosity. Lexi felt a jolt of attraction at the artist's defiance, momentarily forgetting her purpose. "Just admiring the view," Jada quipped, leaning closer to Lexi, the tension swirling buoyantly around them. Lexi noticed the subtle way Jada's body turned, like a barrier against Eliana. "This piece isn't for everyone. Back away now, unless you want to face the consequences," Eliana warned, stepping closer, her passion igniting a spark in Lexi. "Seems to me you'd be missing out on an opportunity," Jada replied, her bravado a determined facade. In a bold move, she reached out, brushing her fingers against Eliana's arm, leaving a lingering touch before stepping back. Eliana took a moment studying Jada, her enthusiasm disarming, but Lexi felt the edge of the situation growing sharper. "You really think you can get away with stealing it?" Eliana challenged, but there was a hint of intrigue in her voice that wasn't there before. "Maybe I won't if you help us," Jada said, her tone teasing. "What does it hurt to be a little adventurous?" The spark in Eliana's eyes shifted from anger to something deeper, something Lexi recognized as curiosity. "Are you saying you'd prefer to enjoy this piece rather than take it?" "I'm all for enjoying it, and you." Lexi's boldness surprised even herself, but the chemistry between them was electric. Jada watched next to her, a knowing smile on her face, as if she were watching a game she had orchestrated. "I might be tempted to let you go," Eliana said, her voice a low whisper as she stepped closer, the scent of her floral perfume wrapping around Lexi like a warm embrace. "But not without some fun first." In a swift motion, Jada grabbed Lexi's hand and squeezed as they moved toward the painting. Eliana followed, drawn in by the magnetic tension. They exchanged playful banter, the stakes of the heist leading to flirtation and unexpected intimacy. Eliana's expression shifted as the trio began to play a game of seduction amidst art. Lexi's heart raced at the daring feeling of taking risks, not just in the heist but with two gorgeous women. She leaned forward as Jada distracted Eliana, her breath warm in Lexi's ear. "This might just work," she breathed. Just as they positioned themselves to make a move, the alarm shrieked through the gallery as a patron accidentally triggered the security system. Lexi and Jada's hearts sank. "Go!" Eliana shouted, her eyes wide with an unexpected urgency. "I'll hold them off. You have to get out of here." "Are you crazy?" Lexi cried, unsure why she found herself wanting to save the sparkling green eyes that seemed to hold an entire world of chaos and creativity. "Trust me, if you want to keep that freedom you were after, and explore this more, go." They hesitated, but the sound of hurried footsteps drew near. With a surge of adrenaline, Jada grabbed Lexi's hand, pulling her toward the exit. As they burst out into the cool night air, Lexi glanced back. Eliana stood tall, her figure illuminated by the lights from inside. a fierce protector even amid the chaos. With a nod, they took off into the dimly lit street, knowing they'd escaped with everything, truths, risk, and an untamed spark that ignited between them. As they climbed into their waiting getaway car, Jada turned to Lexi, eyes bright with adrenaline. "You saved the best heist of all," she winked. Lexi couldn't help but smile back, thoughts of Eliana's fierce spirit already sidling into her mind. "Maybe we should go back for more," Lexi teased, visions of stolen glances and daring thrills swirling as they sped away, freedom swelling in their hearts like never before. With the possibility of adventure awaiting them, Lexi and Jada drove down the empty street, plotting their next heist, and the tantalizing opportunity of bringing Eliana along for the ride. The adrenaline from their reckless escape still coursed through Lexi's veins as she and Jada zoomed down the narrow lanes of the city. The glow from the streetlights blurred against the crisp night air, and excitement danced in the space between them. Jada shot a glance at Lexi, her lips curled in a playful smirk. "So what's next, partner? Are we heading to that cozy diner to celebrate, or are we going to find another heist?" Jada teased, flipping her hair back, eyes sparkling with mischief. "I don't know. I can't stop thinking about Eliana," Lexi admitted, the confession slipping out before she thought it through. The way Eliana's fiery spirit had captivated her and stirred something deep within was undeniable. "She's intense, but there was something about her." "I get it," Jada said, her teasing tone softening. "That's kind of the appeal though, isn't it? The thrill, the danger. And now we might have to rescue her too. Let's not make this a one-off escape." Lexi's heart raced at the thought. "You really think she'll want to be part of this? It was a wild night for her too, after all." "Why not?" Jada replied with a confidence that lit up her entire face. "If she's anything like you said, she's tired of the same old routine. This could be her chance to be a part of something bigger. But first, we need to lay low." They decided to head to a nearby motel, where they could regroup and formulate a new plan. The faded sign flickered in the night, shimmering against the growing excitement within them. They checked into a room and settled down, the tension morphing into a bubbling anticipation of the next steps. Later that night, seated on the edge of the motel's worn-out bed, Lexi pulled out her phone, toying with the idea of reaching out to Eliana. "What if she's freaked out and doesn't want to see us again?" she voiced with a hint of doubt creeping in. "Or what if she's waiting for your text?" Jada challenged, leaning closer, her shoulder brushing Lexi's. "You won't know until you try. I'll bet she's a wild one who just needs an invitation." With a deep breath, Lexi tapped Eliana's number into her phone, heart racing as she hit send. Meanwhile, Eliana stood in her cluttered studio, the remnants of the art gallery's excitement still fresh in her mind. She paced back and forth, trying to suppress the mix of adrenaline and fear swirling inside her. That night had rocked her world. Two women had shown up, turned her life upside down, and ignited a fire inside her she didn't know she missed. Her phone buzzed against her table, and with one glance her heart skipped. Lexi's name glowed on the screen. Eager and cautious at the same time, she opened the message. "Lexi, hey. I know tonight was insane, but we're thinking about you. You didn't have to hold them off for us, you know. You're amazing." Eliana felt warmth bloom in her chest. Amazing? Her mind wandered back to the way Lexi looked at her. How her breath caught the moment she had dared to brush against her arm. What the hell had she gotten herself into? "Eliana, I wouldn't have done it for anyone else. But if you're still in the city, we might need to talk." Lexi quickly replied, excitement bubbling over. "Lexi, we are. Where do you want to meet?" As they exchanged messages, plans formed quickly. Eliana decided they should head to a little cafe that she favored. A quaint spot with art on the walls and the scent of fresh pastries in the air. A realm where her creativity thrived. "Eliana, meet me at the Canvas Cafe at 10 a.m. I'll be waiting, bring a plan." The next morning found them at the cafe, sunlight streaming through the windows. Lexi and Jada arrived first, adrenaline still buzzing as the idea of plotting their next big move. "I can't believe we're doing this," Lexi said, pouring them both cups of coffee. "Believe it," Jada chimed in, glancing toward the door. "There she is." Eliana entered, her vibrant red hair framing her face and cascading over her shoulders. The moment her green eyes locked with Lexi's, the air thickened, charged with unspoken tension. She approached their table with a confident stride, sliding into the seat across from them. "I wouldn't have expected to see you two again," she said, a hint of a smirk on her lips. "Did you want to discuss art or crime?" Lexi chuckled nervously, heart racing. "We were hoping for a little bit of both, actually." Jada leaned in, a conspiratorial glint in her eye. "And we want to see if you'd like to join us in our next heist. If you're available for slightly illegal escapades." Eliana raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You really think I'd be interested in that? Just last night, I was protecting valuable art from prospective thieves." "Sure, but those thieves don't spark your creativity, do they?" Lexi countered, her voice lingering sultry with curiosity. "We could use someone with your expertise, someone who knows the ins and outs of the art world. Plus, we promise it'll be much more exhilarating." A challenge glinted in Eliana's eyes, and Lexi could practically see her weighing the possibilities. "And what's in it for me?" she asked, her voice low and enticing. "Freedom, adventure, and maybe some fun along the way," Jada suggested boldly, interlocking her fingers with Lexi's under the table, a show of solidarity and excitement. Eliana leaned back, considering them both. "I want in. But if we do this, it's on my terms. And no one gets hurt," agreed. Lexi and Jada exchanged excited glances, nodding in tandem. "Agreed. We're a team now." Eliana leaned in closer, her voice low. "Then tonight we strategize. I have a very specific piece of art I want to target. A gallery that's hosting a private event later this week. We might just pull off something remarkable." The air buzzed with an electric charge, as they shared a look filled with newfound ambition and unspoken connections. They were no longer just a runaway thief and an unexpected artist. They were a trio bound by adventure, seduction, and the allure of the reckless lives they were beginning to craft together. As they left the cafe, plans forming and laughter echoing, each step felt like a leap into the unknown. Freedom was now on their horizon, and the thrill of the chase was just beginning. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm glow over the city as Lexi, Jada, and Eliana gathered in Eliana's studio to solidify their plans for the upcoming heist. The walls were adorned with vibrant paintings, chaotic yet captivating, each canvas a window into Eliana's vivid imagination. Lexi felt a rush of inspiration coursing through her. This was a space of creation and rebellion, a perfect backdrop for their scheme. "All right, ladies," Eliana began, unrolling a large blueprint of the gallery on her work table. "Here's what we're going to do." Lexi and Jada leaned in, eyes glued to the map. Eliana pointed to various sections, explaining the layout. "This is the guard station, a single security officer at the front entrance, and another patrolling the inside. The painting we want is in this back room, separated from the main hall." "So we distract the guards," Jada suggested, her excitement vibrant. "But how do we pull that off?" Eliana grinned, her confidence sparking a sense of purpose in the room. "I have some ideas. I could create a faux scene outside, something that grabs their attention. Meanwhile, you two slip in through the side access. It's less monitored." Lexi's heart raced, not just from the thrill of the plan, but from the burgeoning chemistry with Eliana. Their eyes lingered on each other a moment too long. Lexi quickly glanced at Jada, who seemed to catch the tension only to raise an eyebrow knowingly. "Sounds good," Lexi said, trying to focus. "And what about the getaway?" "I scouted the parking lot. There's a service exit that can lead us to an alley behind the gallery," Eliana explained. "Once we secure the painting, we'll make a dash for it. I've got a car stashed nearby." "Perfect. We just need to ensure we're in and out before anyone notices," Jada added, her enthusiasm contagious. "Just remember, this isn't just a job for me. This is reclaiming my story. A bit of revenge against venues that pretend to keep art for the elite, while they profit off creativity," Eliana said, her voice thick with passion. Lexi felt a surge of admiration. "We're in this together now. No more just stealing what's out of reach. We're taking back what belongs to artists like you." Eliana's expression softened, and for a moment, the room was charged with possibility. A gentle smile broke the tension, igniting something deeper between them. "Exactly," Eliana murmured, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Now let's throw some chaos into the mix." As night fell, the The three of them prepared for the heist, a camaraderie building with every shared nervous laugh and excited glance. They dressed for the occasion, dark, sleek outfits blending seamlessly into the shadows. Lexi felt more alive than ever, her senses heightened, and her heart thumping in sync with the thrill of the night ahead. The gallery stood tall against the canvas of the night, illuminated by soft light. Patrons milled about, laughter and music mingling, the perfect distraction. Lexi could feel the adrenaline coursing through her as she stepped into the shadows with Jada and Eliana. "Showtime," Eliana whispered, a determined glint in her eye as they crept toward the side entry. Lexi glanced at Jada, who gave her an encouraging nod. This was it. There was no turning back now. As they slipped inside, the hum of excitement buzzed in the air. Eliana took a moment to glance around, spotting the security guard at the front desk. His back turned as he engaged in conversation with another employee. "All right, distractions in 3, 2, 1. Eliana stepped into the open, her artistic flair taking over. "Excuse me, everyone. There's a stunning piece of art being installed outside. You have to come see it." The guard, intrigued, started to rise. "What? I'll go check it out," he mumbled, already moving toward the entrance. Jada and Lexi exchanged glances before bolting toward the back hallway, hearts racing. With a sense of urgency, they navigated their way inside, guided by the glow of the security lights leading them to their target. "Keep it quiet," Jada whispered, puffing softly as they neared the room where the painting was displayed. Lexi nodded, eyes fixed ahead, taking in the grandeur of the space filled with art. As they reached the door, however, they stilled. It was slightly ajar, an unwelcome risk. Lexi leaned toward it, ears straining for any sounds inside. "Do you think someone's in there?" Suddenly, they heard footsteps approaching, soft but distinct. Panic rushed through Lexi, but Jada tugged her back, just as the door swung open to reveal Eliana's propped figure. "Let's go," Eliana hissed, a mischievous smile on her face as she poked her head inside. "I've created a delightful chaos out front. Now go grab the painting." They barely had time to nod before rushing through the door, eyes widening as they caught sight of the serenity of dusk, a breathtaking canvas bathed in oranges and purples, awaiting them like a prized catch. "Lexi, you take the top, I'll grab the bottom," Jada called out, adrenaline soaring through them. They shared a determined glance, and with practiced hands, they secured the immense piece, carefully maneuvering it off its stand. Just then, a shout sounded from the gallery, and the urgency of the heist took a new turn. "Hey, what are you doing?" Their hearts dropped at the sharp voice of the guard as he re-entered the room, realization dawning. "Stop right there. Run," Eliana yelled, urgency lacing her tone. They bolted out of the room, the painting tucked securely against Lexi's body. The three of them dashed down the corridor, heartbeats syncopated in fear and thrill. Just as they reached the service exit, a hand grasped Lexi's shoulder. She turned to see the guard lunging, a terrifying moment caught between freedom and capture. With a primal instinct, Eliana stepped forward, using her artistic tools as a dart. Spray paint aimed at the guard's eyes. "Get out of here," she yelled, and in that instant of chaos, they surged out the door into the dim alley. They didn't stop running. Heart pounding, breathless laughter mingled with the pounding of their feet, creating a symphony of exhilaration. Lexi glanced over her shoulder to see Eliana's fierce expression, her daring creativity overriding fear. They finally reached the waiting car, Eliana hopping into the driver's seat, and Jada jumping in next to her, leaving Lexi to hoist the painting beside her in the back. "Go, go," Jada urged, adrenaline roaring through her as Eliana peeled out, tires screeching against the asphalt. "Did we just do that?" Lexi asked, breathless with disbelief as they shot down the street, feeling the wind whip through the car. "Hell yes we did," Jada shouted, the sense of victory rising in them like a high tide. "I'm getting out of this art world," Eliana added, joy sparkling in her eyes. "And I mean it." With the painting safely held, freedom swelled in their lungs as they laugh amid the euphoria of success, an exhilarating culmination of their daring spirits and newfound bond. Lexi's cheeks hurt from smiling, glancing around at her partners in crime, realizing they had found something more valuable than any stolen art. A fierce connection, the unexpected thrill of alliance, passion, and the promise of new adventures. As Eliana pushed the gas pedal harder, Lexi felt an exhilarating sense of safety among this new family, a trio ready to take on the world and claim their freedom together. They were bound now, not just through art and theft, but through daring ambitions and the thrill of new possibilities unfolding before them.